Welcome. My name is Ayodeji Oyesanyo. I'm an engineer by trade, and I am the AUC Fellows Coordinator. The AUC Fellows program consisted of 12 students from 3 HBCUs: Morehouse College, Clark Atlanta University, and Spelman College. The program consisted of 7 women and 5 men, all learning 3 main aspects that we focused on: knowledge of renewable energies, social and networking skills, and also real world opportunities. We look to train the students in energy audits and also solar training. And with the new current administration passing $400 billion for climate change, we believe that this program is something that will set up future generations to be successful in their future careers. With that being said, we have 2 of our fellows from the program here to discuss some of their experiences with me.
Hello, my name is Noah Bigot-Angevine. I am a senior Morehouse College student from Long Island, New York. I'm currently looking to get my degree in chemical engineering.
Hello, my name is Jonathan Banks. I am a senior physics major math minor from Washington, D.C.
So the first question that I do have for you all, what were some of your experiences while in the program?
So for me, one of the experiences I experienced was a lot of just hard training. I learned a lot about sort of how to install solar panels, what solar energy looks like, what renewable energy industry looks like, sort of how you're able to invest in it, how you're able to sort of go around and talk about some policy choices like car charging, wind turbines installations, just general knowledge topics that should be explained to some people who may not understand sort of what's happening in the renewable space. With that though, I was also able to learn a lot of sort of soft skills, or learn a lot of skills that are going to help me build towards the future. One of the biggest things that they focused on was sort of bringing different guests who were able to talk about stuff, but also were able to ask questions. And a lot of times I would sort of ask questions about sort of personal life or professional life to get more idea of sort of how you're able to transition into the work field in the spaces and transition into a better vision in a better light into some of these spaces where you may not be used to or may not be normal for you to be there. One of the other things I was able to pick up was a lot of just the ability to sort of go around and just have these different, like, I guess, experiences with other students. Due to the size of the AUC, it's kind of small, and so a lot of us sort of sometimes teach, but sometimes don't because of some separation we do have. And I was able to meet a lot of different students who are from my college, not from my college, who were able to provide me different insights on their experience and their lifestyles and how they sort of go around the campus and learn from campus. And that was a huge benefit for me. I remember sort of one of the people sort of me and him both love to watch soccer, and so we sort of spent some of our days watching soccer and talk about different teams and sports. It was great.
One of my experiences, I was brought in by Noah, so I actually came in kind of late, but I came in during an energy audit, and through that I was able to meet a lot of nice people from Spelman, from Clark, and from Morehouse College. And through that, I was open to a new field I've never thought about before. I've never thought about going into energy renewal. And when I first put my foot in the door, I realized this is something that could be very big in the future, because that's where everything is leading to, especially with the new administration. And that greenhouse gases and like oil companies are destroying the world right now, but renewable energy is something the world gives us. And so we have to find a way to harness that and use that for our benefit, and be able to harness that energy. And through that, I was able to think more about my future and also the future of like everybody. And I was just awe-inspired, and I wanted to just learn more about it ever since then.
Thank you. Next question I have: what are some of the benefits that you gain from being part of the program?
So I touched on a couple of them earlier, but one of the biggest things for me was just being able to sort of meet other students. Because of the pandemic, a lot of students like me were sort of stuck at home for a while, taking online classes, but not being able to socialize with people around us. And so to come back to my first semester back on campus and meet almost new people who I haven't talked before, I met before, was super interesting. We sometimes we would hang out, we would sort of go, when I went bowling and all of us just hung out, went bowling, talk to each other, and a lot of sort of commingling, and a lot of I guess interesting topics came up and we talked about them. And it was very eye-opening for a lot of us to have that experience. Also for me, one of the biggest benefits I had was working with internship that worked with the HBCU Green Fund. As an AUC fellow, I sometimes don't really have I sometimes am limited to what I can do just because of time commitments due to my school or due to classwork. And the Green Fund allowed me to sort of go around and sort of spend time talking to different companies and different people in the industry who are able to hook me up with internships and jobs. I directly now directly work in the solar field as a technician. I also work now with a lot of the installation setups for these solar installation, which is super beneficial. One of the other things for me was just the commitment respect I had that was given to me by the Green Fund. I was able to sort of like take the time I put and turn it directly into money, which actually helped me a lot during semester. Because I live off campus, I do sometimes have to emergency expenses pop up. And so for me to get sort of paid and then be able to turn around and say, oh, my car needs to be fixed, fix this right now. And that allows me to sort of go back and forth to school, not to worry about my car breaking down or my car need to get parts in, or sort of that sort of big like transportation issue. And that was huge for me to be able to go ahead and sort of not worry about that. And that helped me a lot also better my grades, not to worry about other outside external issues that I may have over the semester.
Some of the benefits I got from the AUC fellow was connections and there's a lot of improvement in soft skills. I was able to just connect with a lot of people from different energy companies. I was able to learn time management and also really apply my degree to the field, which I did not know was applicable to the energy renewable. And seeing that it allowed me to put like what I was learning in the classroom to the field. And when I was doing the solar training, I was actually like clicking like what is going on. And through that, I was able to just have a fun time and be able to just talk with people, be able to also like it was a fun time and I will greatly do it again.
Thank you for that experience. So could you talk a little bit about the specific trainings that you participated in?
So one of the trainings that I really focused on was the training on some of the sensors. So some of the sensors we use were light sensors and mechanical sensors. So light sensors will sense the light on in a room and what intensity and for how long. And the mechanical sensors will sense if the machine's running or not. And one of the biggest things I learned was just the software and how these sensors work, why they're useful, and what's important about them, and where you place them. I didn't realize that one of the biggest, I guess, most important things you can do in working in the energy auditor field is sort of knowing where the sensors should go, where they should be placed, and how they should be used. Because if you don't know how they should be used and you place them in the wrong spots, you can end up ruining the audit or ruining what you're doing. I also was trained on sort of the personal skills, really trained on like sort of how you talk to the people, how you work with them, how to like sort of ask questions to get the answers you want or look for responses you're looking for, which is very important. And then also just being able, like sort of being trained on a job that I can do in the future, that was like super helpful. Like, hey, after you're done with these trainings, we can have you help train other people, or you can go out and do these audits yourself in the field.
Some specific trainings, I remember we were doing solar installation training, like it was a model, and I loved the teamwork that everyone brought to that training when we were setting up solar panels and everyone was just communicating with one another properly. We were able to properly set up the solar panel. I also learned that solar panels are really sensitive. So everyone was taking their time. Everyone was very careful with what they were doing. And it was very eye-opening to how people work with one another, but it was also just open. I was very open-minded to the idea of working with other people. And through that, I gained a new understanding of what it's like to work with a team.
And also just to add to Jonathan's comments, me and him actually went ahead and with the company I work with, we actually went ahead and installed and worked on top of a rooftop for a day for one of the installations that they were doing. And that was super eye-opening for both of us to see sort of how the front end things work and how to apply these skills we learned in training into the actual real life.
Mm.
Well done. So final question, how do you plan to use the skills and experiences gained in the future, in the real world, and or if you were to be a part of this program again?
So one of the biggest, I guess, future goals I have is sort of training other people on this stuff and on these policies, issues, and topics, because with the amount of money that's being injected into the industry, a lot of people don't know what's going on, don't really understand what's happening. And they need a lot of sort of, I guess, guidance and training on how things are going to sort of start picking up and how we can change things and how things can be made better. One of the biggest things for me also is I now directly work in the energy field, and I'm thinking I want to continue doing so. And so sort of working with different solar companies and different manufacturing companies and just picking up a lot of these skills that I did not have or that I was not able to gain prior to this. So I'm really hoping to stay in the industry and keep working with people in the industry about this stuff, and hopefully one day sort of lead a team to start creating panels across the world, across a lot of minority communities and places that do need this energy that don't have it.
Some of the future goals I have is I'm more so just wanting to learn more. I didn't really get a lot of touch into the fellowship, but when I put my foot in the door and got in and I learned a little bit there, I realized this is a big market and a lot of money can be made for people who are like us. And a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know about renewable energy. So it's really about, I want to gather this information and be able to spread this information to people who I care about, who are also willing to know as well. Because this is a big thing that not a lot of people probably know about, and it needs to be heard, it needs to be seen, because this is the future. This is what is going to lead us to like the next 20 years, 30 years. And we just are in the building block stages of that. And we are going to see this thing transform just over and over and over again until it becomes part of the world. And this is the beginning of that. And I'm glad to just be a part of it. And I hope to have more opportunities to connect with more companies. I hope to learn more about different renewable energy, such as solar. Well, we already did solar, such as wind, such as hydro. I even hope to hopefully get a job at a renewable energy company and use my major as an application to help out with that company. And I hope to just make a memorable time being here as my last year as a senior.
Thank you. We really appreciate you taking the time out to give us some of your experiences in the program. We look forward to continuing it, and we'll talk to you very soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you.